Hello, everyone. Mums and dads, boys and girls, how are you? Good. Well, very good to see you. Now, welcome to the Oxford Reading Tree Summer Party, organized by the Oxford University Press and co-organized by the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups, M21. Well, I'm your MC today, Michael, and it's absolutely a pleasure to be seeing all of you today. We're going to have an amazing program lined up here at the M21 Youth Cinema. I'm sure all of you will enjoy. And there is going to be, today we have dozens of families here, but also hundreds of families right now watching us live online on the internet. 好，各位歡迎嚟到咧牛津閱讀樹嘅生日派對，係由牛津大學出版社主辦，並且係由香港青年協會嘅 M21係聯合主辦嘅。今日咧，我係你哋嘅 MC 司儀 Michael， 咁我哋咧有一個好精彩嘅一系列嘅節目咧，將會為大家送上嘅噃。今日咧有幾十個家庭喺度啦，有好多爸爸媽媽、小朋友啦，但係同一時間咧都有幾百個家庭咧喺網上面咧同我哋一齊收睇呢個直播嘅噃。咁咧，我想邀請大家咧，而家手頭上你哋有一個係咪 Chip 同埋 Keeper 嘅公仔啊？不如全部小朋友大家舉起手揮下佢好唔好啊 ？Hi, are you excited? Let's wave. Let's do it, Keeper. How are you? And give me some noise. Woo! Are you excited? Yeah. Brilliant. And 我哋都想請翻喺網上面嘅朋友咧，如果你收睇直播嘅話咧，都可以留言啦，同埋咧係俾翻個表情嘅公仔俾我哋去睇翻嘅。好啦，咁事不宜遲咧，咁開始之前咧都想咧提醒翻大家，由於咧我哋要遵守政府嘅防疫指引啦，所以咧今日咧全程嘅活動期間咧都請大家咧唔好飲食，同埋咧記住咧要戴翻個口罩喎，好唔好啊？好，唔該晒先。好啦，咁事不宜遲啦。Oxford is not really an unfamiliar name to all of you because most of you or your children has been users of OUP books. Now, Oxford University Press, OUP, is a department of Oxford University, and the goal is to further the objective of research, scholarship, education by publishing quality content. 咁牛津大學出版社咧，其實係牛津大學嘅一部分嚟嘅喎。我哋嘅目的同埋使命咧，就係為咗要咧推進教育啦、學術啦同埋研究嘅進步嘅。咁我哋喺香港咧都係出版咗好多好優質嘅教育產品俾大家啦。咁我哋睇一睇咧，我哋嘅熒光幕咧，你就可能會認得一啲嘅產品啦。好啦，麻煩你去一去咧，冇錯。So Oxford promotes the love of reading, and we strive to improve the literacy and instill positive values in children, and we have impacted many generations of children and students. We produce a lot of ELT products, including Oxford Reading Tree, Oxford Story Tree, which is a local adaptation of ORT, and we have a range of other products from kindergarten level all the way to primary school level. It's produced either locally or imported from abroad. So you may recognize there is TikTok and many other famous series in there. 好啦，咁除咗咧我哋會見到啦，我哋有好多嘅書目啦，包括係由學前教育去到呢個嘅小學教育啦，都有好多種類嘅喎。頭先有牛津閱讀樹啦，仲有牛津嘅 Story Tree 啦，各種各樣咧，可能你都會認得㗎。So apart from our books, we also organize a lot of activities, from storytelling to competitions, workshops, parties like today's party, summer party, and in the future, OUP will continue to support education and bring high-quality content to all of you in Hong Kong and around the world. 好啦，我哋除咗咧係出版之外咧，我哋仲舉辦好多好有趣同埋好精彩嘅活動，包括咧就係講故事嘅環節啦、工作坊啊、有唔同嘅比賽啊。同埋好似今日咁樣咧，我哋會舉辦一個嘅生日派對，即係唔同種類嘅派對嘅噃。目的就係為咗咧喺未來嘅時間咧，繼續帶俾大家好出色同埋優質嘅教育嘅產品啦，去推動教育嘅發展嘅噃。好 ，and now it is my pleasure to be introducing to you two very important persons today, Mr. Hunt and Mr. Alex Brychta. They are both the authors and the creators of Oxford Reading Tree. Hello, Rod. Rod is the creator of your favorite characters, including Biff, Chip, Kipper, Floppy, and all their friends. So why don't we wave hello to Rod? Rod is joining us all the way from the UK. Hello.
Hello, everyone from the UK.
All right. It's good to have you. And also, I would also like to introduce another important person, Rod's very good partner, Alex, who is the joint creator of ORT and an illustrator who draws all your favorite characters that we have loved over the years. So again, let's raise our hands, put your hands up in the air and wave hello to Alex.
Hello to everybody in Hong Kong.
Oh, great, Alex, we can hear you. So good morning to you both in Britain, and very good to have you. Together, Rod and Alex have been working together for 30 plus years, and they have won numerous awards, including the Outstanding Achievement Award at the Education Resources Award, and many other awards as well. So the both of them will show us how they will create the story and how the characters are created. And there'll be a chance for all of you today here to join in for a draw along. That would be simply wonderful. Well, it's surely wonderful, but I won't give away the story or any details yet, and you will find out for yourself very soon. Now, in addition to Rod and Alex, I would like to introduce a very special celebrity guest. Now, she's from Hong Kong, and she's well known to all of us as a singer and songwriter. She's an award-winning, best-selling artist of Hong Kong, but she's also a parent who has 2 children and a huge fan of Oxford Reading Tree. Guess who? Right, so let us welcome with a round of applause, let's welcome K 姐謝安琪小姐，我哋今日嘅明星嘉賓。好啦，大聲少少啦，好唔好啊？你個掌聲，我哋咧等佢歡迎佢入嚟我哋嘅台上面嘅喎。其實咧，謝安琪咧，大家都知道㗎啦，佢係咧香港好出名嘅一個藝人啦，同埋一個歌手嚟嘅。其實咧，佢平時咧都好中意喺網上分享咧佢一啲咧同小朋友閱讀牛津閱讀樹嘅一啲個人嘅故事嘅分享嘅噃。咁所以咧，我哋即將就會同佢見面㗎啦。好，有請 K， 再次俾啲掌聲好嘛 ？Hello。好，請 K 可以嚟到台前。
我個咪有冇實？哎呀，棘住咗。
Hello, Kay.
Hello.
You look splendid, and it's good to have you. It's my pleasure to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, let's say hi to Kay. Let's give her a round of applause.
Hello. 哇，好多小朋友今日，好開心。
So before we begin, I'm thinking maybe we should take this opportunity to have a group photo. So while Alex and Rod are here in the background in the camera.
Oh, hi. Rod and Alex. Hi. Where should I look at? Where's
Just
the camera?
our children and families.
All right.
Oh, and the camera there. They are seeing us through that camera over there.
Oh, I see. Hello. I should
So-
say good morning to Rod and Alex, isn't it?
It's really early there in
It's
in
really
England.
early.
So right now, I would like to invite Ms. Mason Leung, the Corporate Marketing Director of Oxford University Press in Hong Kong, as well as Mr. Wei-Ting Chan, the Director of M21, to come up on stage, and let's get ourselves a good picture to kick off this wonderful event today. So let's get closer. We have a virtual picture with Rod and Alex. Hello. 我哋都可以咧試下除翻口罩嘅喎。好啊，我哋。今次呢幅相裏邊咧，有我哋嚟自英國嘅2位牛津閱讀樹嘅作者喎，我相信大家咧都可能未見過佢哋真人嘅真面目㗎啦。咁當然台上面仲有我哋牛津嘅同事啦，同埋謝安琪小姐啦，好多我哋今日咧係你即將會同佢哋咧有更加深入嘅互動嘅。好啦，我哋預備啦，埋位啦，好嘛？我哋就影張相先。 Okay, thank you very much, and thank you, Mason, and thank you, waiting. Please take a seat. Let's give a few moments for the photo taking as well. Thank you very much again. So let's get started. Kay, I know you're a user of Oxford Reading Tree, so maybe while Rod and Alex and you and I are here, we should have a chit-chat about your experience. I know your children grew up reading ORT as well, so we'll like to hear from you. But I suggest that maybe we can talk in Cantonese. 我哋不如用廣東話嚟到去閒談好嘛？然後會翻譯翻俾 I'll translate in English for Rod and Alex, okay? 好啊，咁所以問下你啦，其實點解你會咁中意，或者你點會揀選牛津閱讀樹呢個故事系列嘅？
係，我首先同小朋友打聲招呼先。Hello， 小朋友，有冇一啲係3歲嘅小朋友喺度啊？肯定係啦。咁有冇啲4歲以上嘅小朋友啊？哇！咁其實咧，我都介紹一下，我屋企咧都有一個小朋友係4歲啦，有另一位中朋友啦就14歲啦。咁所以其實我哋屋企咧都成日會睇故事書。咁我好多時候都係負責講故事啦。咁我嘅另一半啦，佢係一個演員啦，張繼聰啦。咁佢係好中意演戲啦，所以佢講故事嘅時候咧，都會有好多動作啊，好多演繹嘅方法啊咁。咁所以我哋嘅小朋友咧，慢慢咧都好中意，即係一路讀故事書嘅時候咧，佢哋都好中意演繹故事入邊嘅一啲情節啊咁樣。咁我哋都好中意一家人一齊去睇故事書。咁我細嗰個小朋友係比較細啲啦，所以而家佢都係睇緊Oxford Story Tree 嘅系列啦。咁我大啲嘅小朋友咧就睇Oxford Reading Tree 嘅系列啦。其實我自己雖然係大人啦，我都好中意睇翻一啲兒童書，因為我覺得兒童書嘅世界好簡單、好快樂、充滿住愛。我覺得呢個係對於我嚟講好好嘅提醒，令到我哋知道我哋細個嘅時候，其實我哋都係一齊喺書本裏邊認識個世界啦。咁我哋嘅世界係一開始嘅時候，我哋都係抱住咁好嘅心去對待我哋嘅人生嘅。咁千祈唔好忘記呢一點。所以我好多時都會同小朋友一齊睇嘅時候，我自己都會好開心嘅。
Well, Kay and her husband has got a 14-year-old and a 4-year-old. So as a family, they will always read the story together and like to act out the story together because the story brings them happiness and it helps the children learn about things in the world and values. So but that is a really great sharing. Thank you very much. 咁講翻啦，其實咁你平時有冇話兩個人喺咩情況之下會夫婦係點樣同小朋友講故事嘅咧？
其實我諗疫症期間咧，各位家長都好頭痛係咪啊？因為我哋喺屋企好多時間都要有好多親子活動咧，令到小朋友都唔好嘥咗啲時間。其實我會同小朋友有時候會煮嘢食啦，有時都會睇下啲 recipe， 睇下啲 cookbook。有時我哋又會一齊畫圖畫啦，會有一啲 painting 嘅書本啦。咁我哋亦都當然更多時間就係睇故事書啦。咁我哋兩個咧，其實有時都俾小朋友 inspire 翻喎。因為我咧最細嘅小朋友咧得4歲啦。咁疫症開始嘅時候咧，其實佢得3歲嘅啫。咁嗰陣時咧，佢又唔係好識睇啲文字嘅，但係咧佢咧都好想講故事喎。即係當我一路喺度講緊故事嘅時候，佢就 my turn 咁樣，佢就好想講故事。咁但係佢唔識字喎，咁佢點講故事咧？但係其實原來小朋友咧，佢嘅 creativity 同埋佢哋嘅 imagination 係好好啊。佢一路睇住啲圖畫咧，其實佢哋會講咗佢心目中嘅故事出嚟。所以我覺得家長們咧都可以俾多啲空間小朋友咧，其實就係睇圖畫嘅時候，因為 illustrations 其實都係對於小朋友嚟講係有好多啟發。 咁當佢哋睇呢啲 illustration 嘅時候咧，其實佢諗到啲乜嘢咧，好多時超越咗我哋原本預計嘅。咁嗰種有趣調翻轉咧，都會啟發翻我。我覺得都啟發咗張繼聰喎。因為唔知大家有冇睇過咧，張繼聰都有一個故事系列咧，就係佢將 Oxford Story Tree 嘅一啲故事書啦，但係講咗一啲咧大人都會覺得好好笑嘅版本出嚟嘅，但係就唔係成人版本啊，大家唔使擔心，係一啲好有趣嘅故事啦。咁所以其實小朋友佢哋嘅創意、佢哋嘅開心快樂，都對於我哋有好多好嘅影響。
So Case just said that in the pandemic, reading books from the Oxford Story Tree and Oxford Reading Tree has become a way for them to spend their family quality time. And really, the children, their imagination, their creativity, they have no end, no limit. And while they are reading the story, Kay and husband and the children, sometimes they would improvise and really tap into the imagination of them. And it's a great way to spend time together in this difficult time in the pandemic. 好，唔該晒先。咁都想啦，今日趁咗機會分享下啦，有在座有好多嘅小朋友同埋家長啦，你有冇咩嘅秘訣或者特別嘅小技巧咧，都可以咧俾我哋參考下，等我哋認識下點可以講故事講更加好啲咧？
我覺得咧，唔知各位小朋友你哋有冇自己中意嘅故事人物啊？你最中意邊個故事人物啊？嚇？你有冇中意？有冇人中意 Floppy 啊？ Floppy 啊，冇人中意啊？有冇人中意 Keeper 啊？係咪啊？係，我覺得咧，我自己喺睇故事書嘅期間咧，我覺得因為Alex 嘅 illustration 真係好有趣嘅，所以我有時都會鼓勵我嘅小朋友自己都要畫下，就算畫得唔似都好啦。Yeah, hi. Very nice illustration, Alex. So 有啲時候我都會鼓勵我嘅小朋友都要畫下，即係就算係未必畫得好似都好啊。咁佢哋同個 character 越有多啲，即係同個故事嘅主角多啲嘅感情咧，其實佢哋聽故事嘅時候咧，亦都更加係投入啦，同埋更加中意聽你講故事咯。
咁咧其實咧我哋都想知道啦。咁如果你喺你眼中其實咧，即係講故事啊同閱讀對於小朋友嘅發展同埋成長都好重要嘅喎。
好重要啊！
係啊，咁你揀選故事書嘅時候咧，有冇特別嘅一啲條件咧，都會你想係即係喺揀選過程中做一個選擇嘅條件嘅？
有時我都會揀一啲書咧，就係可能入邊嘅主角咧係同我小朋友佢嘅年紀相若啦，變咗入邊故事經歷嘅一啲情節咧，我都可以用嚟同我嘅小朋友對照翻，即係話哦 Keeper 喺學校咧發生一件咁樣嘅事喎，你有冇試過啊？有冇試過咁樣？開唔開心啊？咁你可以同佢多啲，令到佢都分享翻故事以外佢自己嘅感受啦。有陣時我都會中意揀一啲色彩或者即係嗰個插畫比較可愛啦嘅故事，因為我嘅小朋友佢都係好細個開始睇書，咁喺視覺上啊、色彩上咧吸引到佢哋咧，都係一個好好嘅開始嚟嘅。
So Kay, when selecting storybooks, she particularly looked for colorful illustrations and story that can, that the children can relate to. I think it's a good way to start, and that's great, advice for many of our parents here today who may be looking for more books to inspire their children and to accompany the children in their reading time and at home. 都好多謝你嘅分享啦。咁我哋咧其實而家咧都即將咧都要會同阿 Rod 同埋 Alex 咧同佢哋有個訪問嘅喎。咁咧但係咧我哋而家等緊佢哋咧喺 UK 嗰度咧睇佢哋聽唔聽到我哋講嘢先。
Can you hear us, Alex and Rod? Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes.
Great.
好，太好啦！咁我哋咧而家可以開始咧我哋嘅即係幾個人嘅對話，但係我都想用英文問翻 Rod 同 Alex， 咁啊 Kay 亦都可以隨時同我哋一齊閒談啊。Rod and Alex, it's good to hear from you. We're wondering, as the creator of Oxford Reading Tree, who are your own favorite characters? Maybe we'll start from Rod.
Okay, that's a hard one because they're my kids, you see. So I've got lots of grandchildren now, and it's hard to have a favorite one. So really, the one I relate to best of all is Dad. Because when I was younger and my family were growing up, I did lots of the things that Dad does in the stories. So I based Dad a bit on myself. So I would say I love them all really quite equally, but I do have a soft spot for Kipper.
What about you, Alex? What do you think? Are you partial to any special character? Who do you like?
Yes, I am, Michael. I will give you a clue.
Oh.
Now, I need to get my hand centered so you can see. There we go. Who's that?
Who's that? Say it if you know it, children. Say it out.
I heard the answer.
Yeah. Okay, what was the answer?
Give us more clues, please, Alex.
Please go on. Whoa.
I still don't know. Oh.
Those eyes.
Okay.
It's a very big clue.
And a big round nose.
Whoa. And this, what did I say? It's not hair. It should be fur, right?
That's right.
Any idea from you? Any from our audience, children? Say it out loud.
係邊個嚟㗎？Let's see，我哋睇下係唔係先。
哇，同書裏邊好似喎。其實 Alex
我其實而家都學
就係
緊啊，我自己。And the color. And the tag.
Well, Alex, I think our children have got it. It's floppy, and you are right. Many of you have guessed it right. Wow. Okay. Wow, this is really great. Thank you for showing us. This is, magnificent. So Alex and Rod, where do you get your inspiration from when you are imagining these characters and the story? Where do you get your inspiration from?
Well, I get inspiration all the time. I've got these kind of like antenna on my head. I kind of always looking for a story. So when I'm with people, I'm with children, I'm out I live at the seaside here, so I'm watching families, and I just get lots of ideas from observing people, seeing how people behave, and then trying to convert them into a story.
Thank you. And Alex, what about you when you're drawing? Is it really hard to come up with ideas, and is it challenging to draw? Tell us more.
For me, it's very easy because I just read Rod's brilliant stories, and images come up in my head straight away, and I just make up things. I have all the whole world of Biff, Chip, and Kipper in my head, just as Rod does. So as soon as I read one of Rod's stories, I start to see the images in my head, and then I draw them. So I have the easy job.
Michael, can we?
Wow.
I think it's very similar to how I write music, because when I have an inspiration, and I heard the music inside my head as well. I think it's pretty similar to your process of creating the story. It's pretty similar.
I think it's great. Sometimes, is in artistic creation, you can really draw a parallel between drawing and writing music. So I think that's a great insight. So I've got an idea now, everyone. Apart from more than just talking about the stories and the characters, I've got a suggestion, and we're wondering if we could ask Kay to draw to your favorite character here on stage right now.
Do you
Can
want
you do
to
that
see me
for
draw?
us? 有冇人想睇 Kay 咧即場畫畫
畫
咧？
畫
我哋咧想請佢咧畫個秘密嘅主角出嚟，但係咧大家可以之後咧估下係邊個嚟嘅喎。我哋又考下 Kay 嘅畫畫技巧，同埋我哋睇下佢可以畫啲咩嘅作品出嚟，可以嗎 ？All right.
All right. Will you do the talking?
So why don't we spend a few minutes while Kay is working on this secret character? Maybe Rod and Alex, we can go on chatting about your creative experience and the process. And I would suggest maybe Rod, I know that many students and children here today, they have been following your stories for many years, but it's the first time that they actually get a chance to kind of face-to-face see you like they are now doing right now. So would you like to share more about the behind-the-scene process of how to create an original Oxford Reading Tree story right from the scratch?
Can I share my screen then, please? Can you let me share my screen? I can show you how I work.
我睇睇咧 ，Rod 要同我哋分享翻咧佢作古仔嘅過程，我由零開始，一陣望下佢介紹先。
The screen sharing has been disabled, so I can't show you my illustrations of this or share my story. Well, okay, then I can't share my screen. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I'll share my screen now then. No, still can't share my screen. Well, to write my story, I have this big comfortable chair, and I sit back with my legs up on the desk like this, and look at the ceiling. And what I'm doing is I'm thinking of the story, because I can see it in my mind's eye. I can visualize it and see the pictures in my mind. So I get an idea for a story, I sit in my chair, and I then think about how it's going to pan out, how it's going to work, the beginning, the middle, and the end. And then I go to my computer and I write it down.
So Rod, I think we have enabled screen sharing, so let's give it a try.
Let's try now then. No, it's still disabled, sorry. So.
Still disabled?
Yeah, afraid so.
Well, I can help you out.
Give it a second.
Okay then, right, so if you can help me out.
I can help you out because I have samples of the different stages that I go through.
We're here now, we've got it, okay.
So why don't we go on maybe, oh, there we go.
Here we are.
Ah, okay.
There we are. So there is me with imagining my story. And here I am typing it out on my computer, which I've explained to you about. And then I speak to the editor and I discuss the story so it gets edited. That means any mistakes I've made and anything that might need adjusting is done. So we check the story through, and when I've done that, I send it by email to OUP, and that then goes to Alex. Alex then comes to Oxford, and the editor and I, and a designer as well, sit in an office, and I read the story to Alex, and he starts to draw the very first ideas of the illustrations. We call these the rough pictures or the thumbnails. So here's Alex, look, there's the thumbnail of the picture he's drawn on your screen. And there he is working with a designer on the early drafts of the book. So that's how the book begins to be made. And then Alex goes home and he spends a lot more time than I've taken, I'm afraid to say, maybe up to many, many days to do the lovely books that you see and his illustrations. So Alex, do you want to say a word about how you illustrate them as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can show you. I have a few samples of the process that I go through. Now, I don't know if I'm on screen now, because all I can see is two rods and myself.
So Alex, and I think it would be great to see you drawing right in front of our eyes, but I think Kay is also done with her drawing. So shall we take a look at Kay's drawings first? So we'd like to hear your expert opinion on the drawing as well. So let's go back to Kay. Let's check it. And how are you doing here, Kay? Wow.
I've tried my best. I'm sorry. Can you guess which character is it?
If you know the name of this character, can you once again say it out loud? 1, 2, 3. Floppy.
Oh, now I'm relieved. At least they can recognize this is actually Floppy, isn't it?
Yes, I think it's, and you and Alex, you are like-minded. I think you both have a special preference for pet animals, and so if I may ask you, when you were drawing Floppy, what came to your mind in the first place? Well, what was the first thing you were thinking of?
Why do I like Floppy this much? Floppy reminds me of my own doggie. I have a doggie at home. Her name is Jing Jing. We call her Jing Jing. And she is also very friendly, very caring, and very nice to my kids. So I like Floppy for this reason. And I always love animals. That's why I love all the animal characters in stories.
Is there anything special about Floppy here that you... What is the hardest part to draw?
To be honest, I'm not a good drawer. I'm not a good painter, so I'm not good at drawing. This is not really close to what everybody known as Floppy, but at least I think I have a little bit of the character, the characteristics, like the Floppy's tag. So you can recognize this is Floppy. No, I don't really have skills to share, but yeah, I think it's happy to draw the character I like.
Well, I think you've got a natural talent in drawing, actually.
No way.
Do you draw often with your children?
Thank you.
Do you draw often with your children when you are for leisure?
Not very often, but I do like drawing with them because their drawing always amaze me. Sometimes we do combine different elements of arts together. I may play music for them to listen to, so I will ask them to feel the music. What do you feel about this piece of music in particular? And then you can draw according to your feelings. Sometimes when I play some very vibrant, very energetic kind of music, they may use very colorful, a lot of colors, and maybe the strokes will be really fast. Sometimes when I play a piece which is with more emotions, they will draw something looks very calm and use colors which are lighter, or maybe pastel colors more. So I do like drawing with my children, and I benefit a lot with drawing with them because they sometimes inspires me to appreciate different beauties of life.
Well, thank you for sharing. I think this is a really touching thing that you get to spend time drawing with your children. What do you think, Rod and Alex? What do you think of Kate's piece of artwork here?
Well, if I can say one thing, if this is your first effort, Kate, to draw Floppy, I'm worried for my job.
No.
If you ever get tired of singing, I think you could be a good illustrator.
Thank you. You're so kind to me. Thank you.
Well, that's a huge compliment, Kay. And Alex, we'll get back to you about the drawing and illustration. And right now, we want to take the opportunity to invite, to show appreciation for Kate's artwork and the showcase of this artwork. We'd like to present Kay with a gift. And on behalf of Oxford University Press, may I invite Ms. Mason Lang, the Corporate Marketing Director, to come back and to hand over this special prize and special gift to Kay.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, Kay. It's very kind of you. It's really eye-opening to see you draw on stage in front of all of us. And so in the next part, though, we'd love you to join us off stage. So please take a seat and relax. And take some time for more photos. Thank you very much indeed. So please join our families off stage as we're going to move on to the next section, which is the story time. And then we'll have a draw along with Alex as well. So why don't we move on to the news story? Because today is also the birthday of a brand new story that is newly released. It's the debut for this story. It will be told the first time ever in history. And we will hear straight from the creators of ORT, Oxford Reading Tree. So may I, perhaps maybe Rod, it's over to you. Perhaps you can tell us quickly where there's the story, and then we can invite Alex to join us for the illustration. So thank you very much, Rod, and please give a round of applause to Rod for this story that has never been seen by anyone before in this world. So over to you, Rod.
Thank you. If I can share my screen again, I'll try and get the story up. Here we are, look. Just hang on a second. Okay, it's called Kipper's Money Tree, and it's all about a bicycle. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because Alex doesn't like drawing bicycles. He might tell you why in a minute, but he doesn't like drawing bicycles. But Kipper wanted a new bike because his old bike was very out of date now. He couldn't ride it properly. It was too small. So it was time for a new bike. And he'd seen a BMX-style bike on the internet. But the trouble was it was far too expensive. It cost too much money. Sorry, Kipper, says Dad, but it will have to be a cheaper model from the bike shop down the road. But I really want this one, says Kipper in a hopeful voice. We don't have a money tree, says Dad. We can't afford the one you want. You have to make do with one I can afford. Thinks Kipper. If we did have a money tree, we could afford it. So Kipper decides to plant a money tree. He puts all his pocket money in a big flower pot, hoping it will grow into a money tree. The family wonder why Kipper keeps returning to the flower pot to water it day after day. Biff makes Kipper tell her what he's doing and reports back to Dad. We can't just tell him a money tree will never grow, says Biff. So the twins hatch a plot with Mum and Dad's help. The family watch the next time Kipper goes to the big flower pot, and to his surprise, there is a tree. Well, it's a big branch pushed into the soil where he planted the money. And hanging on the branch are little packets and the parcel. Kipper can't believe his eyes. In the little packets are coins, and in the parcel is a money box. There's no such thing as a money tree, says Chip, but we have given you some of our pocket money to save up, and a money box to put it in, says Dad, adds Biff. If you help with the chores without grumbling, says Mum, Dad and I will give you some pocket money. Then you can save it all up in the money box. And I will buy you a new bike, says Dad, and the extra money you've saved up can go towards the expensive bike you really want. There's the story.
That's a great story. Thank you. Let's give a big hand to Rod. Thank you. So let me just retell this story. Try to retell the story, summarize it in Cantonese. 好啦，咁頭先咁多位咧，你哋真係好幸運啊，因為咧我哋咧啱啱 Rod 咧就已經係作咗一個新嘅故事，而你哋咧就係全世界第一班小朋友聽到呢個全新出版嘅故事嘅喎。有冇人記得個故事其實係講阿 Biff 想買啲乜嘢㗎？有冇人知道啊？係啊。係買乜嘢？bicycles 係咪啊？買單車 ，OK， 大家都知道係買單車。咁但係單車係好貴定好平啊？好貴喎！咁所以我哋嘅主角就點啊？佢想咧要種一棵搖錢樹就可以種啲錢出嚟買啦。咁但係買唔買到啊？梗係種唔種到啊？梗係種唔到啦！ 因為啲錢唔係種出嚟㗎嘛。如果大家咧想要學習要儲錢咧，其實咧我哋明白一個道理咧，原來咧錢咧係靠大家日積月累咁累積嘅喎。呢個咧係我哋一個理財嘅道理，希望大家可以喺故事度咧學到呢個少少道理嘅。OK， 咁我哋咧可以之後睇翻咧，我哋輪到 Alex 啦喎，等我同佢傾傾偈先。So Alex, we would like to show you to maybe show us how do you draw the Oxford Reading Tree characters. But first of all, what's with the bicycles? Can you tell us more about why you hate bicycles?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. In fact, I can demonstrate it if you let me just switch to my overhead camera, and I can get back to.
大家一定要留意熒光幕啦。Alex 話將會同我哋畫一架單車出嚟嘅。
The reason I don't like drawing bicycles is because one day, many years ago, Rod asked me if there's something I don't like drawing. And I said, I don't like drawing bicycles. And Rod asked, why not? And I said, well, they're not easy to draw because I have to draw two wheels that are perfectly round, which is very difficult. I never get it quite right. And they should be the same size. And you see, even here, I'm getting it already slightly wrong because they're not perfectly round. So when I'm drawing the wheels, I have to do it many times before I get it right. And then I have to draw the fork, front fork, and the frame of the bicycle, which looks something like this. And there's a bit there, there's a bit there, there's a tube that goes this way, there's a tube that goes to the rear wheel, and then there's a bit here, there's a bit here. And so it's quite complicated. And of course, then there's the handlebars like this, and then there's the seat. And by the time I get finished with it, I'm quite frustrated because it's so complicated that I said to Rod, no, I don't really like drawing bicycles because it's too complicated. And of course, do the spokes go this way or do they go this way? And they go this way, don't they? No, of course they don't. But if the wheels are spinning fast, see, you don't see the bicycle spokes. You just see these little lines like that, flashes. So, do you know what Rod did when I told him that I don't like drawing bicycles? Can anyone guess? Yes, he wrote a story and there was at least one bicycle on every page.
Oh dear.
So I had to illustrate this book that was full of bicycles. But I got my own back because I drew him as our servant, and I drew myself as a king in one of the stories, and my wife as the queen. And then Rod got a little bit upset, and he asked me a few years later if there's something that I'm not very good at drawing. And I forgot about the bicycles. I said, I'm not very good at drawing horses. And he said, why not? And I said, because the horse, it has always sort of similar proportions, and I have to draw it the same each time. I said, write about dogs, because I can draw any kind of dog. If I draw, for instance, a dog which is quite sort of fat and short like this.
Look at that.
You see, that's easy. That's easy. Or I can draw a dog which is long and thin like this. And of course, there are dogs like that. We call these sausage dogs. They're called dachshunds. So no matter what kind of dog I draw, it looks normal. But if I drew a horse that looks like this, See? Now that's got the same proportion as this dog, but everybody would say horses don't look like that. So I find it much easier to draw dogs than horses. And guess what Rod did when I told him this?
Well, thank you. That you certainly have made it look really easy to us. Do you like it, children? Isn't this incredible? Well, thank you, Alex. But actually, our children's been waiting this for a long time. I think they also get a chance to be able to draw, to follow you and draw an Oxford Reading Tree character. So I'm wondering if you can just pick one character, and then all our children here may draw along on the paper with the pens and paper right here. And children, so if you may open your party pack, you will find a clipboard, crayons, and all the drawing materials and papers. We're going to draw along. We're going to follow Alex, and he's going to teach us how to draw one of the characters. So let's see who can draw well, shall we? So let's get ready. Please open your party pack. 你打開你哋個 party pack 咧，攞裏邊嘅嘢出嚟喎，因為 Alex 咧將會同我哋一齊畫一個 ORT 牛津閱讀樹嘅角色喎，想唔想學啊？大家，不如一齊試下啦，好唔好啊？咁佢就跟住帶住我哋畫，你哋又可以跟住畫，睇下你哋邊一個畫得叻啲先，好唔好啊 ？Okay, let's get ready. Have your crayons, color pencils, your paper. Okay. So Alex, I hope you can see that a lot of our learners and younger students right here, they are really eager to get ready for this drawing session. So, can you lead the way? Could you please spend a moment and maybe draw something on your paper, and so all of us can learn the techniques to draw.
Of course. Now,
大家睇住啦，開始啦。
I'm going to draw a picture which came up in my head when I was listening to Rod's brand new story about Kipper and his money tree. And so I'm going to draw first Kipper.
呢一個角色係嚟自頭先個故事㗎噃。
So I always start the face with a sort of a semicircle. In Kipper's case, it's a little bit oval. Biff and Chip are more round. So here's Kipper. And he's got sort of funny hair that sticks up a bit like this. So that's Kipper's face. And if he is planting his money tree, so he would probably be putting a seed, or a coin in this case, in a pot. Like this. And he's kneeling on the floor.
究竟 Kipper 做緊啲乜嘢咧？
And he's so remind me, Rod. He's putting a coin in a pot of
earth.
Earth. So
yeah. Soil.
So that's his hand, and he's putting a coin in a little pot.
Quite a big pot, I think.
It's quite a big pot. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's better. Yes, that's good. Good size.
And that's of course filled with earth, with soil. And maybe Floppy could be next to him, looking to see what Kipper is up to. Flop his tail. I like the way Kay did remember to put the lines around the tail to show it's wagging. Well spotted, Kay. Okay, so maybe in the background, this could be in the garden perhaps. So if I draw a line there and there's a window just there. Now, as you can see, when I'm doing these sketches, I'll show you in a minute what they actually look like. I'm drawing them quite quickly. So, because of course, everybody is waiting when we're creating a new book. So I have to do the sketches quite quickly. And here we could have in the window. Can you see who that is? That's Mum looking to see, perhaps we can fit Biff in there as well. And they are looking at Kipper in the garden and they're probably saying, I wonder what Kipper is up to. So that would be a picture that I would draw in the session that we do when we first create a new book, and I'll quickly show you actual pictures from when we created a new book. So here we have a story which has the text already in place, and this would have been the first sketch I did for that story, and it's about a train that travels on a magnetic rail. And then
Alex 你同我哋介紹佢平時工作嘅情況喎。頭先畫畫已經畫完㗎啦，陣間睇下大家畫成點先。Alex, please carry on.
Yeah, so when I get back to my studio, I often change things because when I do them quickly, I don't necessarily like what I do. So I wanted to change the perspective here. So when I get home, I do another drawing, which is called a layout or a rough drawing. And here we see a different perspective, but it's for the same 2 pages of the book. And it's in a station, this time in Shanghai, and it's the train and the family. And then the next stage is I actually draw a line drawing, which is just black and white. And then I make a print of this, and I color the print in, and this is the printed outline drawing, and this is colored in with watercolors, and then I scan it, and here is the actual finished book, and the picture in place.
Well, this is great. I can't even begin to describe how I feel when I see the characters in this book just coming to life. And this is great. Thank you very much for showing us, Alex. Thank you very much. 大家俾啲掌聲 Alex. So, Alex, would you also please maybe put the money tree picture back on into the projector? So now I think our children would have come up with their own version of the drawing. So let's see it. 好，咁多位小朋友咧，頭先你哋畫幅畫咧，你哋跟唔跟到啊？但係都畫到少少出嚟係咪啊？邊個畫到嘅咧？不如都舉高俾我哋睇下好唔好啊？舉高佢，不如去舉高佢個鏡頭前面，我哋都俾大家去睇睇先。好啊 ，OK， 都有好多人畫到喎。係咪啊？就係頭先嚟自咧搖錢樹嗰個故事 Money Tree 嘅一個故事啊。 好啊，你哋盡咗力㗎啦，好多人咧都話好難畫嘅，但係頭先咧 Alex 畫起上嚟咧就好似好簡單，咁梗係啦，佢畫咗30幾年㗎啦，全部故事都係佢畫嘅喎。All right, Alex, can you see our masterpieces by our children? They're trying to raise them up high for you to see.
I can.
So
There are some very
that's very great. You've done your best, and I can see a lot of beautiful artwork in the air. Right. Thank you very much for your efforts, and I hope you get a sense of how characters are being drawn, and it's just great to see them come to life right now, real time, by our Alex. Thank you very much.
excellent work.
So once again, great job to all of you. I hope you can take the picture away and color them. 翻屋企咧可以咧拎埋你哋嘅顏色筆咧，可以填翻個顏色上去啦，同埋繼續畫埋你哋幅畫嘅喎。好多謝晒你哋咁努力啊！大家俾啲掌聲自己先啦，小朋友。So, Rod and Alex, we are so lucky to have you, but please don't go yet because some of our children, we've got questions for you. They have pre-recorded their questions in video clips, so we will show them one by one. We have picked a few, and we hope that you can inspire us and shed lights on some of these questions. So let's go to question number 1, video number 1, please.
Hello, Alex. This is Matthew, and I am 5 years old. What coloring materials do you like to use most, and why? For example, is it coloring pencils, or crayons, or markers, or oil pastel? Bye. Thank you.
That's a question for little Matthew here for Alex. So what color materials or tools do you use?
That's a very good question. And the answer is I use so many different things. I'll show you some of them. So for instance, I use watercolors, and they come in these little pans of different colors. See, they come in a lovely box like that. I use markers. Let me just show you my selection of markers here. Lots of different markers in different colors. I use colored pencils. Look at all these colored pencils I've got here. And that's only 2 pots of about 20 that I've got on my desk. There's colored felt tip pens. And all of those things I use in my work. So, but the main thing is the watercolor. All the flat colors in the pictures are in watercolor, and then the little details I'll use either pencils or felt tip pens or markers.
Well, thank you for sharing your secrets with us. So we appreciate Matthew's questions, and let's go to the next questions, please.
Hello, Roderick and Alex Brychta. The time was Biff and Chip go into the future, but they were kids. Why they are kids? And this Biff is smaller than this big. Goodbye.
That's a really interesting and curious question. So if kippers travel to the future, why is he still a kid? And why is one kipper smaller than the other? Rod, any insight?
This is a story from the book. It's called the Time Chronicles, when Biff, Chip, and Kip are a little bit older, and they're in a sort of time capsule, and they can travel back in time. And on this occasion, they travel forward in time. But when they travel forward in time, of course, they are still themselves. And in that particular story, it wasn't very far forward in time. It was only a few months. So when Kipper and Biff and Chip go into the future, in that story, they see themselves only a few months older. If they went back into the future, maybe years ahead, they would see themselves as old people with beards and maybe no hair at all, like me. So that story was about them going a little way further into the future. And then I'm not sure why Biff is smaller, but I think it's just the way Alex did the perspective or the angle at which they were drawn.
Okay, well, I think that solves the mystery and solves the question. We've got a few more, so why don't we put up the next question, please?
Hi, Roderick and Alex. My name is Charming Low. Can Biff, Chip, and Kipper speak other languages? Thank you. Bye-bye.
Can I answer that?
I have the same question. Do they speak other languages than English?
Yes, the answer is they can, because, look, I'll show you. They are in this book, although this book is with Wilf and Wilma, but look, oh, you can't see the, switch to my other camera. Look at the language here. Usveti toyaskereses. I don't even know what language that is, but in this book, all the children speak that language. Whatever that means. Another one is this one here. Der Schneemann. See? So all the children are speaking in German. This is German. So they can speak German. What about this one? I can't read that because it's strange writing. But look, Kipper actually speaks this. I tell you, I know what this language is. This is Mongolian. So Kipper can speak Mongolian in this story. And then there's this one. And this one I can read because it's in Czech. And that's where I was born. Tatínek hned běžel Alíkovi na pomoc. You see, so he can speak Czech in this book as well. So all these different languages the children can speak, but only in certain stories.
I see. So they certainly speak more languages than every single one of us. So that's good to know. Why don't we go to our next question again?
Hi, Roderick and Alex. My name is Ryan. Why Keeper is having a pet dog, but not other animals? This is my sharing. Thank you.
So from Ryan, why is Kipper a dog person, but why doesn't he have any other animal?
There are other animals, and there's a story about them having a snake. I think it's a green garter snake, and they look after it. And Nina is an expert on animals, so she helps them to look after the garter snake. And I think they looked after hamsters in a story sometimes. So, but the problem is, of course, Mum says with 3 children and a dog, it's very hard to look after more animals. I have enough to do to look after you lot. And so that's why they only have really a big, floppy, bouncy dog.
I see. So there are indeed more animals than a dog, but dog is the main companion to the children. Right. So I think from the last of the recorded video, please, is also from another reader.
In House for Sale, Kipper jumped on the bed. When you were little, did you jump on the bed? Did you bump your head?
So you two, Rod and Alex, when you were little, did you jump on your bed and hurt yourself?
Well, I still jump on the bed, even though I'm an old man. When I was little, yes, I jumped off. I had, on the end of my bed, I had a bottom board, and I would dive onto the bed. So yes, but I didn't bump my head, though.
Yes, I'm sure I jumped on the bed when I was a child as well, but I don't do it anymore because I'm too heavy now. I would break the bed if I started jumping on it.
Well, I have to admit, I do jump on my bed as well. as a child, of course, not now. Well, thank you very much. And I think we've got just a bit time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions. And let's see if we have any questions from the live chat box. I know hundreds of families are watching online. And oh, we do. Oh, okay. Okay, we do have 2 questions. If you don't mind, just we can add it to the list of questions. Now, first of all, were you nervous, Rod and Alex, on your first day of school? And did you act like Kipper, who didn't want to go home?
Well, I can remember my first day at school. I was very small. I was only 3.5 years old. And my mother, it was raining at the time, my mother made me wear a yellow hat with a pointed top. It's like a hood. And I didn't want to be seen when I went to school wearing this baby's sort of hat, like a baby's hat it was. So I was very, very cross with my mother, even though I was only 3.5 years old, that she made me go to school for the first day wearing my yellow baby's hat. So I've never forgotten it. It's still, to this day, I still feel cross about it, even all these years later.
What about you, Alex?
Well, as it happens, I was, while Rod was talking about his first day at school, I've actually found a picture taken of me. There we go. That is taken, that's me there. And that was the first day I ever went to school. And this girl was my best friend at the time. She lived next door to us. And I think you can see I'm not looking too confident or too happy about going to school. But that's so long ago that I'm not sure whether I was nervous or whether I was perfectly happy. It's a long time ago.
Okay. And finally, another question from our audience is, when we are stuck with writing or drawing, what's your advice? What should we do in order to come up with more ideas in our creative process?
Well, if you write a story about monsters, it's too vague an idea. So what you need to do is have a story about somebody who reacts with a monster, or a monster that has some issue, like it's afraid of things, or even though it's a monster, or a dragon that can't blow fire. Because when you write a story, you need to ask yourself, whose story is it? Who's it about? And if you can decide who the story is about and who owns the story, what's it all about, it's a much easier job to write it. When you get stuck, the best thing is to leave it for a little while and think about it, then come back and maybe you can carry on and finish it. Often when I write a story and I don't quite know how to end it, I will leave it and go and do something else. And I come back again and then my mind is clearer about how the thing's going to end. But my main advice is, when you write about something like anything at all, always have a central character or 2 or 3 central characters, and it's about them in that story.
And also, anything else to add from Alex? Any kind of advice for our children?
Yes, in my case, of course, it's not so much about the ideas, although I do put a lot of my own ideas sometimes in the background in the pictures. So, you know, when I was a child, I remember I was always drawn to books which had lots of funny details, and sometimes the detail was not part of the main story, but in the background. So you may find that although, of course, I illustrate Rod's story, I will think of things that I might put in the background, which children will like to look for and, find funny, find amusing. And I think Rod and I both agree that one of the most important things when you're creating a book for children is to make it exciting and funny, because children like excitement, they like fun. And if a book looks boring to them, then they're not going to be particularly attracted to reading, and no, they won't want to read the next book. So we've always, Rod and I, we've always worked together as a team. This is the other thing. And Rod, of course, comes up with the idea first, but the next stage is we get together, we talk about the story, and I start drawing the sketches. And we still sometimes, change the flow of the book a little bit. And this is an important thing because we both share the same kind of sense of humor and the same ideas about Biff, Chip and Kipper and the world they live in. We create the stories while we're having lots of fun and enjoying the process. and that is important in creating a book. So that's my advice. And of course, in terms of drawing, just if you like drawing, you children out there, keep practicing, keep drawing all the time. And when you draw things, look at things like the bicycle. If you don't know how to draw a bicycle, look at an actual bicycle and draw it while you're looking at it. Draw the wheels, draw the frame, and then the brain is like a computer. You will be able to store some of that imagery in your brain, and next time you come to draw a bicycle, you'll be able to do it from memory without seeing a bicycle.
Well, that's great. I think I learned a lot. And thank you both. I'm grateful that both of you are here. Thank you for sharing the story, for answering the questions and showing us the drawings. I think it's time now for all of us to say goodbye to Rod and Alex. We have come to the end of our event. Why don't we all wave goodbye to Rod and Alex together, right? Okay, let's say goodbye and have a great Saturday. Thank you very much for your time and waking up so early and meet us from the UK. Thank you. So hope to see you next time, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. It's been great fun, and we only wish we were there in person.
Yeah, thank you for bringing the fun to all of us here. Thank you. So now, last but not least, before we go, I think we should definitely thank our co-organizer today for providing the venue. So as a token of appreciation and gratitude, we would like to present a gift from Mason to Mr. Wei-Ding Chan, the director of M21, and just want to show our gratitude for providing such spacious and comfortable and great venue to us today for our event. Thank you very much. Let's give a hand to M21. Thank you. Thank you, Wei-Ting. Thank you, Mason. Oh, we have so much fun today, and 多謝你哋今日出席呢個活動啦。咁希望咧都最後咧同大家講翻咧，其實今日開始8月21號去到9月17號咧，我哋仲會牛津大學出版社咧，我哋仲會舉行一個網上繪畫比賽嘅。所以咧你可以用翻頭先你學到嘅畫畫技巧啦。我呢個比賽咧係為3歲到9歲嘅小朋友而設㗎。你咧可以透過掃描呢一個熒光幕上面嘅 QR code。又或者留意翻咧牛津大學出版社嘅網站啦，或者社交媒體嘅網頁啦，咁就可以得更多嘅資訊㗎啦。其實頭先 Rod and Alex 咧都會係呢個繪畫比賽嘅評判嚟㗎，所以大家千祈唔好錯過呢個機會啦。咁多位咧，我哋可以用少少時間影低相，或者係咧可以掃描嗰個二維碼㗎喎。好啦，咁另外咧就係在座咁多位啦，同埋我哋網上面嘅朋友同埋家庭啦。其實咧，你哋只要咧喺而家嘅之後嘅日期裏邊咧，喺指定經銷商或者係牛津大學出版社嘅網上商店咧購買指定嘅 Oxford Reading Tree 或者 Oxford Story Tree 咧，都可以有機會獲得呢個咧免費嘅 Oxford Reading Tree 文具套裝一份啦，或者係得意嘅 floppy 公仔一隻嘅。不過咧，你哋要快啲啦，因為咧係先到先得嘅。如果你有興趣嘅話咧，就可以掃描而家熒光幕上面嘅呢一個二維碼，又或者係上去我哋以下邊呢個網站嘅連結咧，上翻去網上商店度睇下嘅喎。好啦，呢啲係我哋嘅經銷商嘅名啦，大家可以留意翻。好，咁咧喺度咧就真係多謝大家啦，好高興見到你哋，希望你哋繼續睇牛津大學嘅故事書，我哋希望遲啲喺活動再見你哋好嘛？好，大家希望有個愉快嘅週末，多謝大家，我哋遲啲再見，拜拜，拜拜。